won!
Yeah.
Who cleans this place?
Me. Hi everyone, it's the Book Cougars, two middle-aged women on the hunt for a good read. I'm Emily.
And I'm Chris.
We have a very shiny box to open with you. Look at that tag, it's so shiny.
I love that. And so this is looks like an office building of sorts and a sheep.
And it says, welcome to the night shift at the Institute. Most don't last long, will you? And it's a novel told in ghost stories. And this is from Algonquin. So let's see what's in it.
And it's translated, we should say.
Yeah.
Translated novel. I guess I'll do that. Okay.
Oh, wow. Here, I'll show you how it looks when you open it.
So that must be the cover of the book, I would assume.
Let's see.
See? So that's a nice little... Da-da-da. And then here's the info. Got a lot. Oh, look at that sparkly and fun.
Nice.
Here, let's throw it at the viewers.
We can pretend like we're, what is that, the show where you get the golden,
Yeah,
the golden,
you won!
yeah.
Who cleans this place?
Me, that's who. Got that?
Yeah.
So, Algonquin sent us 3 books.
Oh, nice.
This is the one that was, on the sticker. When the Institute's newest employee arrives for their first night shift, they begin to see why some workers don't last long in the job. Things and people seem to change in these dimly lit halls.
I'm worried about the little sheep already.
I know, and it's kind of like goes back in, drawing you in. Yeah, so this is by Bora Chung, author of the National Book Award finalist Cursed Bunny, which was very popular.
Yes,
so I asked them to send us a copy of that as well.
Nice.
Which has a very memorable cover.
Yes. The Cursed Bunny, one of the reviews from Francis Cha, disturbing, chilling, wrenching, an absolute genius.
And that's a book of short stories, I'm pretty sure. Is it? I think.
Yeah, well, she goes on to say, I had to take breaks and gulps of air before plunging back into each story. Magnetic, eerie, immensely important.
And then this is another book of the short stories, Your Utopia. And are they all translated by the same? This is translated by Anton Hur.
Anton Hur.
Okay, for those. And then this like is, all of them translated by Anton Hur. Wow.
Yeah, lots of good reading coming up.
Yeah. Have any of you read this author? We would love to know. Tell us in the comments below.
Yes, because we are all about scary, creepy, fall, mysterious books in this video.
Yes, that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, so thank you, Algonquin. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Look forward to those. All right, cleaning up a little house.
We made a little mess, but it was fun. So, reminder that this is our Q4 read-along, and we talked about that on the last video, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. And we, I think, promised in the video and or the podcast that we would share with you some of the books that were in the running that we didn't choose.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because it was really challenging to find a book that hit all of the, buttons that we're looking for when we choose a read-along title. With the theme of ghosts, we wanted ghosts. We didn't want somebody who is just haunted by their past necessarily. There are a lot of books to kind of weed through with that are more thrillery. But we did want something with a supernatural element. We also try to pick things that are available through libraries, on audio, as ebooks, paper, so people can get them however they choose to read. In a lot of cases, thanks to a listener, we've been trying to make sure they're available overseas as well, as much as we can figure that out, which is not always all that easy.
And we heard from her, by the way, and she said it is available, so she's very excited about this one. We were also worried that some library systems might have long waits on this, but listeners are reporting in that they're able to get it. Yeah. So please read along with us.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Grady Hendrix. So some of the other books, we just thought we'd give a quick rundown. I have a stack that I was originally calling books Emily wouldn't let us read.
And I should defend myself before she even starts by saying, when we chose ghost stories, I said, I'm all in, but I don't want to read a lot of gore and blood and guts. And I also live alone and don't want to be up at night, locking windows for fear of the pages that I'm turning.
Yeah.
So
turning into something else.
Yes.
So, of course, The Shining was one of them. And I did reread this year and really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. Another one, which I don't think I even brought this one up to you. I'm not sure. Hell House.
You did.
I did? Okay, by Richard Matheson. This is an older book. It came out, I believe, in the 70s. And, 71 it looks like was the first copyright. Hell House. It has house in the title, which, interestingly enough, we have had all of our read-alongs this year have the word house in the title. It was fun to do that.
We were pretty proud of that.
Yes.
We were willing to not do it if the perfect book showed up, but
yeah,
it's pretty exciting that we were able to accomplish that.
But this one, and I was afraid it might be a little dated too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
there was that. But I am going to try and read this one this fall. Now, there are two more in my pile that Emily, one she read and another one she would like to read. This is the one Emily has read, The Sentence by Louise Erdrich.
Which I loved, and it has a friendly ghost in it that is haunting a bookstore.
Yeah. So this was a contender for sure. And then the other was Beloved by Toni Morrison. And this is one I read some years ago and really was impacted by it. It's very literary, and a lot of people struggle with Toni Morrison's fiction. They might enjoy her nonfiction more. So it does involve a ghost. It's a really influential novel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I'd like to read Toni Morrison.
Yeah, but we didn't think this one would be having like a broad enough appeal in terms of readers who don't really like literary fiction all that much.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sounds okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be offensive.
No, it's not offensive. I think it's
okay.
a tough book. I think the subject matter is tough, and
Totally.
I think it's a tough book.
Yes. Highly recommend it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple scenes that will stay with me for the rest of my life. One in particular I know for sure that I occasionally still think about. And I read that book like in the 90s. Yeah. So.
You had the same feeling about The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene in there that haunted you. So the other one that we considered was The Whistler by Nick Medina. Part of the reason we didn't choose this one is it just came out literally this week, and we just want to pick books that are easy to get, as we said. And so we thought, waiting lists at the library could be tough. Sometimes they don't even get their copies in right away when books come out. Sometimes the audiobooks aren't ready yet. So we chose not to do that, but the book itself sounds fantastic. He is also the author of Indian Burial Ground. And if you have read that, one of the characters in that, I believe, makes an appearance and maybe even is the main protagonist. Don't quote me on that, but I know that that's part of the story.
Nice. And it is a hardcover.
Yeah.
We do try to choose paperback. I think there's been a time or two maybe we've chosen a hardcover, but we also conscious of everyone's budgets and try to go with paperback as much as we can.
Yes. Another one, A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. She's a very prolific writer, and this one appears on a lot of lists when you look up, potential ghost stories to read. One of the things I find intriguing, I started the first couple pages, the main character is an entomologist, so I've heard there's a lot of bugs in this book. And there's also a grandmother that appears, and I love that the book is dedicated... This is from my grandmother, who was actually pretty awesome. Nice. That made my little grandmother heart swim.
Oh my gosh, I feel bad. I didn't even say what Beloved. It deals with slavery, American enslavement. So, hence being a hard subject matter. Yeah. And it's very explicit. Like Toni Morrison does not hold back.
Yeah, which is why she's such a wonderful writer. And then A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. This was very high in the running. This we thought could be a really fun bookend to reading The Haunting of Hill House, which was our Q1 read-along by Shirley Jackson. This is the only book that's ever been okayed, is that the right way to say it, by or supported by Shirley Jackson's estate. And I mean, that's pretty impressive. We know some of our listeners out there have read it, the ones at least that we follow on Goodreads, and we've read some of your reviews. Thank you. We actually do that, and it helps us choose our books.
For sure, yeah.
And I think this is definitely going to be my bookend to the end of the year of reading ghost stories, but for various reasons, we decided not to make it our year our Q4 read. But have any of you read it?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Any of these books that we're mentioning, let us know, like, if you've read it, what you think.
Yeah.
There was one more. We couldn't get a copy of it. Our local library didn't have a copy, and the library where I work didn't have a copy. But it's Ghost Story. That's the first edition by Peter Straub. Now, I know I saw the movie that came out. The adaptation was 1981 adaptation. The novel came out in 1979. And I, for a while, was thinking I had read it, but I think it's just because my dad had a copy, and I'm probably just visualizing his copy, I would think. But it's a big chunkster, and we've heard mixed things about the novel itself. But we wanted to read you just a little bit of the background of this. So Peter Straub already had a couple novels under his belt. He's talking here about that he read Stephen King's Salem's Lot in 1975, and he wanted to go back and really study the genre a little bit more. So I'm going to just read this quote from him. I reread Hawthorne and James and went out and got all of Lovecraft and a lot of books by his set. This was because I wanted to find out what my tradition was, since I was by then pretty firmly in the field. I also read Bierce, Wharton's Ghost Stories, and a lot of Europeans. Wharton's Ghost Stories. I just read them. Highly recommend these stories. They were all really fantastic. Even the one that I didn't really think was a great ghost story, I loved because the main character was a masseuse.
Oh, fun.
Right? And I mean, you don't really find them in earlier American literature.
Yeah.
And I had worked as a massage therapist for a while. And then Turn of the Screw by Henry James is one that's quite popular and was a big game changer in the field of supernatural literature, let's just put it that way.
So I had a copy of Ghost Story if I had known that we were going to talk about it, because the gentleman caller loves this book and he recommended that we read it, but it's so long.
Yeah.
It's really long. And the other thing I'll say about Peter Straub is he passed away. He is Emma Straub's father, the author Emma Straub, who also happens to own 2 bookstores called Bookstore Magic. Yeah. And they are in honor of him, they're putting out all of his books with new covers.
That's great.
So you might check it out and get one of the newer copies.
Yeah, that'll be great to see. I really like when they do that. My dad was a big fan of Straub, so...
Yeah, the gentleman caller loves his stuff.
Now, I talked with a friend who is currently reading it and who has been reading it for a very long time and having a hard time getting through it. So we let that one go. It did have mixed reception. The New York Times pretty much said that it was too long, too complex, but it acknowledged that it had eerie set pieces. So it starts off with these old guys, or at least the movie starts off. I'm not really sure how the book starts off. I think it has kind of like a preface or a prelude, like something happens and then they go back to this other town in upstate New York with these old guys who are telling ghost stories. And they are truly haunted, and not just in that metaphorical sense. Mm-hmm. Kirkus reviews was pretty brutal, as they can often be. They said it was overlong, lukewarm. And then Benjamin Piercy, I'm not sure who that is. Do you know that person, Benjamin?
I feel like I've seen his books.
Yeah. Said, this is a quote, Peter Straub is a modern-day Henry James, but with sharper teeth and a long black tongue.
Ooh.
So, I mean, when people say like Henry James, that's either something somebody's going to gravitate towards or be like,
not.
no, not Henry James.
Yeah.
So if you have read Ghost Story,
let us know,
I'm
or any
really
of
curious.
these. Yeah, we'll hold them up again so you can see.
Okay, holding the books. And there were more.
So many.
I mean, so many really great books out there. It's a great
Yes.
problem to have. And all of these writers, we love all of them and appreciate their work. I mean, to write a novel, so much work.
Yeah, and then look at this person. 3. So exciting about these as well.
Well, and it's pretty cool that they've been translated. You know, there's not a lot of translated fiction in general that comes to the States, right? Comparatively to what other nations read.
And I'm not sure if this one is out yet. We will put that down below. Or do we have it in the notes?
Yeah, let's see. It does not say here.
I think it is out. I think they would tell us if it wasn't. I think it's out. Yeah. So let us know what you're reading. Let us know scary stories that you like, even if it's just one short story, because we're also reading ghost stories this year.
Yes, and on episode 243, which we're going to be recording as soon as we hang up from here, I'm going to be talking a little bit about ghost stories and Edith Wharton.
Tune in.
And the difference, like she puts Henry James's The Turn of the Screw in a different category. She's like, it's brilliant, but it's a novel. It's not a ghost story. She was really, in her preface, talking about ghost stories, which are its own beautiful genre, obviously. Yeah. All right, everybody. We wish you lots of happy reading.